Hello my friends and welcome back to the channel where today we are doing something a little bit different. I know I say this every single time, but I'm serious, okay? And as you can tell, this is extremely different to what I usually do. Welcome to Dandelion SMP, a multiplayer RPG server inspired by the likes of The Elder Scrolls, Baldur's Gate, and Fable, just to name a few. I thought today would be the perfect opportunity to show you around the server so you can see what's in store for the very near future. I am extremely excited and there is a lot to get through today, so bound those scrolls, drink those potions, because it's time to venture from the orchard over to Moonhold, where our story begins. Now, I will be perfectly honest in saying that I spent an ungodly amount of time building up this entire area just so we had a nice space for spawn. However, I do think it's fitting that we start in the main area of the town. So here we are under the Sacred Oak, and this is the central viewpoint for Moonhold. Now, there is a lot to view here, so I'm not exactly sure how to really start this, other than obviously reiterate that this took me a very, very long time, and I am so unbelievably pleased with the way that this turned out. Now, I will preface and say that I am not the sole person who owns this server. This is ran by Spring Sims. I am merely the builder. That is where I start and that is where I end. All I do is build in this game, and trust me, I love it so incredibly much, and I am so grateful that Steven allowed me to do this on the server. I mean, he didn't really have much of a choice, but that's not really the point. The point is, this town actually has some lore to it, which I think you guys might find interesting. So there are some very basic things here, such as if you press this button, it will display some information. The Sacred Oak, a silent guardian of Moonhold, and there is also one in that building over there, which I will go to soon. I really wanted this spawn area to feel quite lively. I wanted there to be a reason for you to actually go there, because if you've watched any sort of SMP, any sort of server, you will know that most of the time, server spawns aren't really something that people gravitate towards to, and I really wanted this to become a space that people wanted to visit constantly. So there are some different shops around here, such as the Log Merchant. Up here, there is the Moonhold Mining Co. And they have villagers which have specific trades that relate to what their profession is. So over here, we had Brogan Deep Delve, and he had some trades for black coal, miner's torches, demolition charges, quarry picks, stuff like that, because it all fits with the mine over there. And then over here, we've got the Log Merchant, and he usually sells stuff relating to wood. So we've got some axes, some wood, some campfires, charcoal, and he also lives over here. Another thing I really wanted to do with this is create houses for each villager, just so that there is a space and it feels more realistic. So if we come back through here and go into Moonhold, we can discover some more. So we have a few decorations. This leads down to a very scary mine, which I am not going to jump down to because I would fall to my death. Over here is the abandoned cottage. Now, this one is abandoned for a very specific reason. I don't know if anybody could guess what it is. I thought it'd be quite a unique idea if we had an area that was just sort of more for decoration, and it just had a tree growing out of it, which also once again displays some more information. The abandoned cottage, a tall birch stands where a life once lived. I sort of have the lore that a witch lived here at one point, and it's kind of like a fun little rumor. I don't know how true that is, and I don't know if anything's going to come of this, but it just has some nice little decorations in the back with like a little cauldron. Around here is another little brewing stand. So it just kind of adds that sense of mystery that I really like about fantasy games and RPG style things, and nothing more really to it other than it's a fun house with a tree inside of it. So if we come over here, this is the Fisher's Basket, which once again, this is Cedric Riverseed, and all he does is just sell basic needs for fishing. But I will let you guys in on a little secret. You don't actually need the copper to trade for a weathered rod. You could just easily run over here and pick one up yourself, which I have custom named and also given a custom description to. Nobody needs to know about that. It is one big secret, and we will keep it between us, so please don't tell anybody. The other villager, this one over here, is Lyona Moonbloom, and she owns Mortar and Pestle, which is a potion store. Now this one I wanted to make a little bit more expensive because obviously it's potions, and I feel like they shouldn't be easy to collect as soon as you start the game. Sorry, I just need a really quick steak break. And I think with that is the entire town complete. We have done a complete walkthrough. No issues whatsoever. Oh, no, sorry, my mistake. I lied. Sorry, pranked. Anyway, Over here, we have one more stall, which is actually a cute little farm. So this is the Farmer's Choice, and this is ran by Hank Shearsmith. He has all of your basic needs in case you need stuff to cook with or to bake with. Another thing is I tried to make the roofs of each vendor try and match their profession just a little bit. So some may have blue, some may have green. I think somebody has red, and there's also an orange and maybe a black, or it's grey. It's something like that. I did try and make them match their profession. I just wanted it to be very seamless, and I feel like I made it work quite well. This is another really exciting area of the map. Obviously, you might see right here it says the Moonhold Arena. We did also, by the way, go through and unlock every single waystone just so we know where to go. But if we run through here in this very, very lovely tunnel that me and my friend Dabney built, we will come out to the Moonhold Arena. This space genuinely is one of the nicest parts of the map. I will also note that 2 of these locations that I am going to show you are built by CATLINECRAFTING, I believe their name is, and I will link their videos in the description so you can go and check them out for yourself. They are an incredible builder, and I genuinely could not have done this without them, so thank you so much. I don't think they actually even realize that they helped me this much. If we go inside and we go through this door, we actually lead ourselves directly into the main arena space. I kind of wanted to go that more Elder Scrolls route with Oblivion, and I wanted to add this kind of cool effect in the middle with the copper grate so you could see down below into the other arena spaces. So this area is obviously more for fighting. It might be for fighting mobs, it might be just for fighting players, it might just be like a fun area that we can all hang out and chill if we really want to. It's kind of a space where everyone can gather and we can all just fight to the death, pretty much. If we go back inside and then we come straight up the stairs, you would be able to see the entire arena from all angles, and you could just watch the fight take place right here. Also, funnily enough, if we head over this way, I believe, and look through one of the gaps, we might be able to view where our next location is. If we head up these very, very steep stairs, I know it took me a very long time to figure this out and do all the terraforming, we will actually come in contact with the castle known as Moonhold Keep. I should not have fallen there. I need to fix that. Let's just ignore it for now. It doesn't exist. This once again was built by CATLINECRAFTING, so once again I will put the video in the description and you can go and check it out there and build it for yourself. And this is an incredible build. I was looking for so long to find some sort of cool castle design to try and build so we had some fun space to see from the town, and this was the perfect one. All of these interiors have been fully furnished. I'm not going to go through all of them because I want to leave some up for the imagination. If we go in here, we have the kitchen. This is a very, very neat space. I love how this looks. I genuinely have never had so much fun building something, and I have just got an egg. Let's just stick you over there. Oh, and here is our first ever resident. His name is Jerry. If he stands still, stop moving. Okay, he wants to escape. This is Jerry. He is our first resident of Moonhold Keep, and he is actually a little bit of an Easter egg. Now, if you guys have ever seen Steven / Spring Sims, if you've ever watched any of his live streams, you will know that Jerry is an integral part of his Minecraft SMP experience. This was one of the very first chickens I believe he had. I could be wrong on that one, or it was just one of his pets. I don't know, but we have brought him back. He lives on, he reigns on free within the gates of Moonhold Keep, and he will live there forever and ever. And if he ever escapes, I promise I will find whoever has done that. I feel like I have an idea who would do that, but I will find you. I promise I will find you. This up here is just in case you don't get home and you need to sleep, and all it has is just a bunch of beds. It's not very exciting, but I thought it looked quite cool, and it's very unique in its design, and I quite like it. It's quite cute. And a cow should not be in here. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Okay, so can we just pretend that never happened, please? I don't want to talk about it. I want to keep that to myself because that was embarrassing. Now, I don't want to go in this area because I want to leave it up to the imagination of people at home. But we can, in fact, go in this room right here, which isn't that exciting. It's an armory. It doesn't have anything in it right now because we haven't really had a chance to. And also, I, once again, don't want to give players a fair advantage because I don't have a fair advantage. This steak is only for the video. I'm deleting it as soon as I'm done. I believe as well, this might be our final location, which is the mine shaft. I wanted to have some more decoration. I wanted to do some more exciting stuff in here. So there is just some beds up here if you need to sleep, with a couple barrels that don't have anything in them. There's also a blast furnace here, which would be great for smelting your ores. And this is the way to the mine. This area obviously just has some little holes cut out so you can go digging. It's not really that exciting, and it leads all the way down here, where we have a crafting table, a furnace, some barrels, and just some minimal decoration, because I thought it would look cute. Okay, I don't really have a rhyme or reason, I just wanted to do it. I do actually believe that that is everything that I have to show you today. I also think you may have seen all of these teeny little locations, and those are secret locations of other members in the server, so we are just going to pretend that it doesn't exist. But if you do want a list of who is actually part of this server, I will put them up on the screen right here, and you can go and check them out for yourselves if you really want to. Those who have channels, of course. I did want to finish this off by doing something a little bit more exciting. We did sort of plan our areas out accordingly. We've already got our locations sorted. The point is, I have found my location, and I am going to be living in an orchard known as Fedor. So I thought what could be fun is to build a tiny little tent in creative, just so we have something to get started with. I did get inspired by LD Shadow Lady, but we're just going to pretend that didn't happen. Shush. This was my own doing, and I decided to do it myself. So with that being said, I feel like we should just venture over to Fedor and see what it has in store for us. And here we are at the grand starter base of Fedor, my most prized possession, the circus tent. Anyway, let me give you the grand tour. So when you first walk up, you come straight into this circus tent. There is no door, so mobs can get in and kill me if they really want to, but I'm hoping they don't. There isn't really much in here. It's very little to the imagination, because all you've got is some barrels, you have a crafting table right here, you have a bed, and out here is my lovely furnace, because I wanted a separate space just to add to the realism, because I feel like if this was a real circus tent, you wouldn't want a fire in there in case it burns down. So I decided to bring it out here. So now that we've got this out of the way, I think it's the perfect time now to show you one final thing before we end our video. You see, with this new flashback mod I've been trying out, I may or may not have recorded a full flyby of the entire server, just so you can get a better idea of what we're like. However, I do think I will will bid you all farewell. So if you like the video, please make sure to give a like, make sure to subscribe, maybe comment, maybe, I don't know, do all of the fun other things that you usually do on YouTube, because it means a lot to me and I would really like the support. If you don't, I know where you live. I'm joking, I'm sorry. Anyway, I will see you all next time for another episode of the Dandelion SMP.